It won't lie to you. It's pure that way.
The Life of Chuck is pretty much what you expect. A film that leads you to question the meaning of life, what exactly is happening, what's going on, and for the most part, it does that fluently. It's held back a bit by a third, or should I say first act, running a bit too long, and an eventual payoff that, despite good, is by no means the movie's highlight. Unfortunately, in my area, it didn't really become available until about a week late. Same reason I couldn't cover the Felician scheme. Way too crowded the following week. But The Life of Chuck, based on Stephen King's short story, is still worth seeing, even if it isn't the most talked about new movie. It opens on Act 3 with a narration by Nick Offerman, and that narration is one of the highlights here. It's a bit less common in Act 1, but as the movie goes on, it picks up somewhat of a comedic essence, and it really is effective. Mainly in the scene that opens Act 2, real comedic stuff there. But back to Act 3, life for the most part is not looking up. The internet is down permanently, people are committing suicide in droves, and more importantly, everybody is getting annoyed by the common mention of 39 years of Chuck. I like how nobody knows who he is and they assume he's somebody popular who they overlooked, which is kinda what you would think. And eventually the decline of, well, everything is compared to the universe on a calendar year. It slightly hints at what's coming in a way the viewer might figure out, while not being too in-your-face obvious. Eventually things do go beyond reality and just not making sense, and in a way, it is my favorite act in the movie. It's actually an issue because it really shouldn't be. I mean, it is quite good, but it barely even features the title character. His presence is known and you wonder what it's about, but again, nobody knows who he is. I love the desolation but accepting feel of the situation. It's a theme the movie heavily represents, and the fall of society, losing one thing after another, and Chuck being the only thing remaining, does kind of fit in with the events to come. Problem is, while this act is perfect in length and well-paced, the balance is not consistent. Act 2 was really fun, I did enjoy it, but it's not the most plot relevant aside from one key thing. It's way too short compared to Act 1, that's the exact opposite, way too long, meaning Tom Hiddleston, who plays older Chuck, isn't in much of the movie. Benjamin Pajak, who plays younger Chuck, during Act 1 is given the bulk of the screen time, and that's okay, he does do a great job, but the balance is definitely off. I don't know what I would cut, maybe some of the dance lessons, maybe some of the things that didn't need to be there. It's kinda hard to tell after you see the movie, but the decision to make Act 1 so lengthy and Act 2 incredibly brief is kinda hard to get past. I'm not saying Act 1 is bad by any means, and there is an intriguing mystery going on throughout. You have Mark Hamill as Chuck's parental guardian, he's really good in this, and for the most part, I did still enjoy it. I was kind of wanting to get to the conclusion. The pacing is problematic, I can't deny that, and that's too bad because without that issue, this may have been a top 10 2025 movie contender. Especially because the performances are really good, everybody's nailing the roles they're given. There's so many memorable characters. Kate Siegel as an idealistic teacher, Matthew Lillard as a neighbor in Act 3, who was accepting the end, Samantha Solon playing the encouraging dance teacher, and honestly, many others. I can't think of anybody as being weak in this, they're all relevant to a point, and the messages brought up throughout the movie do all inevitably lead to something. The fact that math doesn't lie, the fear of waiting, you don't know what these things mean, but you know they're eventually gonna mean something. To further explain, we need to talk spoilers, so you've been warned. As you may have guessed, Act 3 is the end of everything. That's made apparent when the stars literally disappear, and at the same time we finally see Chuck passing away. That should give you a pretty good idea as to what's happening, as when he dies, it's clearly day opposed to night, and that's gonna mean something, but you still don't really know just yet. The timing doesn't have to be the same. Act 2, like I said, is way too short, aside from establishing Chuck is in fact gonna die in 9 months. We have the fantastic spontaneous dance section with Chuck and Janice Halliday, played by Alyssa Basso, but while it is all good stuff, you do get the sense of it has to be there. Tom Hiddleston has to do something in this movie, the dance is kind of what that is, but even establishing that he's dying could have honestly happened later. It would have made the ending way more effective when he finally finds out. We'll get to that in a minute. And I can already see the comments saying, "You just don't get it." As for Act 1, a lot happens there. We see him learn to dance, a lot of tragedies. But the main thing is his house has a cupola, which he is not supposed to go into. That's the big mystery. We know it has to mean something, and the big payoff is when he finally goes up there, he sees that it reveals death. In this case, his death, which is when the idea of waiting being the hardest part essentially comes in. Despite knowing he's gonna die young, he vows to live life to the fullest, that he contains multitudes, and I would have preferred if we didn't already know he was gonna die. You see, an earlier scene kind of explains what Act 3 is. A teacher telling him that he contains multitudes, explaining what it means, being the memories he gains over his life, forming the universe in his head. Obviously, that's what Act 3 is, and upon seeing this, you pretty much know why that's ending. If you didn't know he was dying yet, it would have only been part of it, and that would have made the ending so much stronger. Yeah, I know Act 3 also shows you this, so you still would have known without Act 2, but I still feel that Act isn't that relevant.
You just don't get it because you're not smart enough.
I know a lot of people won't see it that way, and I wish I could feel the same, because if not for that issue, it would be a complete masterpiece. In case you're wondering, I still like the backwards nature, it being told in reverse. I don't believe that was just done to do it, but Act 2 should have been a bit longer, and some of the stuff in Act 1 should have been cut. Don't get me wrong, I'm still really glad I got to see this, even if it was in a shitty auditorium a week late. I really enjoyed it, I highly recommend it, but I'm not gonna pretend it's absolute perfection. So let me know what you think down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please share it, hit the like button, subscribe if you feel I deserved it. And remember, the gaming channel has the same content with games. You'll find the link in the description. I'm the Analyst, and remember kids, no stars in the sky and no internet are comparable in terms of Let's Panic.